Shalom, family. Dallas James again. Parts 2, Fathers Publishing and the Royal Levitical Priesthood Ministry. This is part 2. In part 1, I gave you the physics and the first two formulas. Now, I want to take you deeper into the mathematics of glory, because the Shroud of Turin does not just contain one mathematical signature. It contains 6, and they all converge. Let me start with something the Shield 14.0 draws revealed that I did not expect. When I asked the Father, what is the mathematical nature of the signature encoded in the Shroud? Is it found in the geometry of the image, the physics of its formation, or the numerical structure of the burial? The lead verse that came forward was 1 Chronicles 22, verse 19. Set your heart and your mind to seek YHWH Elohim. Arise, therefore, and build the consecrated place of YHWH Elohim, to bring the Ark of the Covenant of YHWH and the holy vessels of Elohim into the temple that is to be built to the name of YHWH. I asked about mathematics, and the Father answered with architecture. He said, the signature is not geometry alone, not physics alone, not number alone. It is all three, because the signature is architectural. It is the blueprint of a body designed to house the presence. The temple is the equation. Think about that. The Temple of Solomon was built with exact dimensions, exact materials, exact proportions. It was not arbitrary. It was consecrated mathematics. And the Shroud records the burial linen of the one who said, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. His body was the final temple. Its proportions are sacred, and its mathematical properties, three-dimensional encoding, VUV photochemistry, neutron isotopics, are 3 registers of a single architectural truth. Here is Formula 3, the WAXS crystallographic aging equation. An aging factor calculated as a function of cellulose degradation, average temperature, average relative humidity, and time. Dr. De Caro's team measured the natural polymer chain breakdown in the Shroud's flax fibers, and the degradation profile matched a first-century linen from Masada. The cellulose is 2,000 years old, not 700, 2,000. The mathematics of molecular decay confirms what the radiation physics demands. This cloth is ancient. Formula 4, the three-dimensional topographic encoding function. Image intensity at any point equals a function of the distance between cloth and body at that point. Dr. John Jackson discovered this in 1975 using a VP8 image analyzer. No painting in history contains three-dimensional spatial information. No photograph does. No rubbing, no scorching, no chemical process. The Shroud is a spatial map of a human body, encoded in fiber discoloration gradients by an energy burst that recorded distance data across the entire body surface. Formula 5, mechanical transparency. As the body transitioned out of standard three-dimensional coordinates, it became non-opaque to the linen. The cloth collapsed through the vacated spatial coordinates. The radiation imprinted both the front and back simultaneously as the linen fell through the space where the body had been. This is why both frontal and dorsal images exist with equal clarity and resolution. And now, the Sadasani discovery makes this physical. The lower teeth visible through closed lips. Internal skeletal structures imprinted on the cloth through the flesh. The body emitted energy that passed through its own biological matter and inscribed bones onto linen. If this body was operating in more dimensions than our standard 3, it would exhibit exactly this kind of internal transparency while remaining solid within its own higher dimensional framework. This is not a ghost. This is a hyperphysical body, a temple body. Now let me give you the 6th formula, the Shield 14.0 convergence mathematics. The Dominion triad, identity, inheritance, and priesthood, is measured against empirically derived baselines from the full corpus of 34,211 verses. The natural resonance index is observed divided by baseline times 100. The sigma value tells you how many standard deviations above random chance your draw has landed. Fisher's chi-squared combines all 12 marker p-values into a single omnibus test, and the guidance detection indicator runs 500 permutation simulations to calculate the empirical probability of your result occurring by chance. Across 13 draws and 1,050 verses, here is what the mathematics says. Every single draw fired the Dominion triad above 3 sigma. 7 of 13 registered extreme anomaly on the guidance detection indicator. 3 draws reached a full yes verdict. The peak result was less than 1 chance in 13 trillion of being random. And in the 3 new draws I conducted on March 28 and 29, the numbers escalated. Draw 1, 3.22 sigma. Extreme anomaly, 6 of 6 channels, 29 direct textual hits in 100 verses. Draw 2, 3.70 sigma. Extreme anomaly, Segula at 213%. The treasure possession marker going through the roof. And draw 3, 4.16 sigma. The convergence confidence index crossed the 85% threshold. 2 markers survived false discovery rate correction. The deterministic verdict was not lean yes. It was yes. Full affirmative. Anomaly confirmed. Multi-channel convergence. The question was, Father, is this mathematical proof of the resurrection through the shroud appointed for this generation to discover and proclaim? The answer was yes. And let me tell you what the text said alongside those numbers. The draw pulled verse 15,573. The man clothed in linen, taking fire from between the cherubim. The man clothed in linen, taking fire from between the wings of divine glory. That is the shroud. That is the cloth receiving the radiant imprint from the presence. In verse 12,447, YHWH will create upon every living place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the bright flame of supernatural fire by night. Because upon all the glory will be a canopy of divine protection. The canopy, the covering, the shroud is that covering. The glory that imprinted the linen is the same glory that will cover the assembly. Family, let me bring this together through the headship of 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. The head of Messiah is Elohim. The Father is the uncaused source of the 34 terawatts, the energy that no corpse can produce, the radiation that has no natural origin. It flows from Elohim. The head of every man is Messiah. The Son is the pattern. His body is the temple. His resurrection is the template. His DNA, his wounds, his teeth are imprinted on that linen because his body was the consecrated vessel through which the Father's glory was transmitted. And the covering, the linen, receives the glory. It testifies. It carries the mathematical signature, 34 terawatts, 200 nanometers, 2 times 10 to the 18th neutrons, 3-dimensional spatial encoding, 1st century cellulose, and teeth behind closed lips. 6 formulas, 13 draws, 1,050 verses. 1 answer. He is risen. The proof is mathematical. And the appointed season for its proclamation is now. Turn and pull up stakes. Go to the hill country. The territory is before you. Selah.